6 years ago, she betrayed him in the most heartbreaking way. Now, fate has brought them together again. To everyone else, Sora and Wakamizu look like the perfect couple, admired, envied, and in love. But behind Sora's calm smile lies a storm of pain, regret, and revenge. This isn't just a reunion, it's a dangerous game of love and betrayal. The question is, will Sora fall for her again, or will he finally crush her the way she once crushed him? The story opens with a girl running. Her name is Wakamizu. She's polite, cheerful, and beautiful. Earlier today, the main character Sora confessed his feelings to her, and now they're officially a couple, but there's a painful twist. 6 years ago, this same girl betrayed him right in front of his eyes. Now people admire Sora wherever he goes when other students see him. With such an attractive girl, they can't help but ask what his secret is. Sora and Wakamizu seem to have a lot in common, which adds to everyone's curiosity. One guy even says he wishes he had a girlfriend like her. Wakamizu then asks Sora where they're going, and he suggests the arcade. The students are shocked. Why take a classy girl like her to a place like that? But to their surprise, she lights up with joy, saying she loves arcades. Sora wasn't surprised at all. He already knew she'd enjoy it. She tells the others that Sora always takes her to concerts and that they share the same interests. But deep down, Sora isn't sure he remembers that she enjoys light novels and starts to wonder if she's just pretending to like what he does. Still, he smiles and says he's happy when they get to the arcade. Wakamizu is full of excitement, but even as he watches her laugh and have fun, Sora can't shake the feeling that something isn't right. He feels torn, like he's being tricked again. The joy on her face only makes the pain in his heart worse. Back in their 3rd year of middle school, when they were still dating, Sora confronted Wakamizu with proof. He showed her a photo of her leaving a love hotel with another guy. He asked her straight up if she was cheating. Her response was cold. She said she could do whatever she wanted, and if he truly liked her, he should just accept it. Then she had the nerve to ask why he was following her in the first place. Sora snapped. He yelled at her, begging her to stop playing with his feelings, but she just looked at him and called him pathetic. He said they should break up, and she replied like it had already happened. That same day afterward, Sora regretted losing his temper. He believed that anyone with dignity would have just cried quietly and hated themselves instead. But now, deep inside, he wants her to feel the pain he felt. He dreams of her chasing after him, breaking down in tears, begging for another chance, and when the moment comes, he wants to look her in the eyes and throw her away like nothing, just to see her crushed and crying. The thought of that gives him a twisted sense of satisfaction by some strange twist of fate. They met again in college. Sora had changed so much that she didn't even recognize him. His college friends call him by a nickname, and hardly anyone knows his real name anymore. He sees this as his chance fate, giving him an opportunity for revenge. As he thinks about all this, he reflects on how people only start showing their true selves once they're comfortable with someone. While Wakamizu laughs happily after winning a plush toy from the claw machine, Sora just stands there quietly, watching her. She runs over to show him her prize. Full of excitement, just then Sora's phone buzzes. He checks it and sees a message from someone who calls him by his real name, Hakudo. They ask if he's ready to go through with their plan. Another message follows, telling him to respond when he's made up his mind, with a small grin. Sora types back yeah and admits he's never been more thankful to his senpai. He sends the reply with a dark look on his face. His senpai texts back, saying he understands. After all, Sora was betrayed and reminds him to buy him a drink. Afterwards, suddenly, Wakamizu leans in and scolds Sora for texting during their time together. Catching him off guard, she's surprised to learn that he has a sister. Sora tells her that since it's their date, he asked his sister not to bother them. Wakamizu blushes at the word date and says, "Oh, I guess it is, huh?" Sora finds her reaction kind of fake and wonders why she's even blushing. He quickly brushes it off, thinking she's just pretending again. As they walk around, she points to a piece of clothing and says it would look great on him. He refuses later when he's about to pay. The cashier asks if he has a membership card. He says yes. Wakamizu suddenly gets super excited about the place and thanks him cheerfully. He hands over his card, which shows his full name. In that moment, Sora feels a strange sense of disappointment in himself. He used to be someone weak and broken, but now he looks like someone completely different, confident and cool. Sora took Wakamizu to a karaoke place. She eagerly asked if she could sing next, and he smiled, telling her he was looking forward to it. As soon as she grabbed the mic, she started singing with wild energy. Sora zoned out for a moment already, guessing that even if she sang horribly, he'd still have to compliment her or else she'd pout. Just as he was getting ready to fake some praise, he looked up, thinking she was finished, but she started singing again. Even worse, this time with drool hanging from her mouth. She stopped and asked, embarrassed if it was really that bad. Sora quickly clapped and said it was amazing. Then, out of nowhere, she leaned in close and said, he looked a little pale, asking if he was feeling okay before he could answer something. Off to the side distracted him. He quickly shook his head and said he was fine, and that her singing was incredible. She asked again if it wasn't too terrible. He repeated that it was great, but then she noticed something was off. He wasn't looking her in the eyes. Suddenly, it clicked for her. Her outfit was showing a bit more than she meant it to, so she quickly apologized. Sora, annoyed by her behavior, just wanted her to stop talking. He muttered an apology and said, once more, that her singing was amazing. She threw up a peace sign and said it's because she practiced a lot trying to play along. Sora said it was cute. She narrowed her eyes, not fully believing him, and asked if he really meant it. That's when panic hit. He realized that yes, he actually did find her cute, and the second he admitted that to himself, he wished he hadn't. After karaoke, they grabbed crepes. Wakamizu took a bite and said it was delicious. Then offered it to him. He tried a bite and agreed. It was pretty good. When she notices the look on Sora's face, she asks if it was really that bad. Not wanting to deal with more questions, he quickly says it was good. Deep down, Sora hates pretending to be nice around her. He refuses to lower his guard. He still believes she's the kind of girl who'd go for anyone without thinking twice. Out of nowhere, he asks if she's free for dinner and says there's a place she'd been wanting to try. She agrees, joking that he might be a bit too dressed up. She starts to say something else about the restaurant, but stops, admitting she feels a little nervous. Later at the restaurant, she says she really likes the place. Sora nods, saying it's not too pricey and pretty easy to find. She smiles softly, cheeks turning pink. Then, almost out of nowhere, she starts sounding dreamy and says, maybe they really are meant to be. Sora stares at her. Shocked by what she just said, she adds that he always looks stylish, but he's also super serious all the time. He responds awkwardly, saying he's not really good at having fun, but Sora knows what she's trying to get at. She's trying to confess her feelings for him. As he watches her smile, memories of how she hurt him in the past rush back into his mind. He snaps back into focus, reminding himself of the real reason he's here while she's in the restroom. He sends a message to his senpai. He's about to win her over, so his senpai should show up in 10 minutes. When she comes back, she apologizes for making him wait. He tells her it's totally fine. The two of them walk side by side, and Sora feels like everything's going according to plan. He's getting close just to crush her in the end. As they walk together, Wakamizu suddenly tells Sora that she really likes him. His heart races, but he tries hard to keep his cool. He wonders if this is the right moment to text his senpai. Instead of reacting to her confession, he casually says he still doesn't have her contact info. He still uses the same number from middle school, and while his plan could have gone wrong, it's worked out so far. Then Wakamizu shifts the conversation and asks if he knows she gets hit on a lot. Sora wishes she'd just stop talking already. He tells her it's probably because she's attractive. She then questions why he says that so casually, like it doesn't bother him. She also asks if he wants to know why she likes him. Sora starts guessing. Maybe it's because he's not boring, or maybe because he's good-looking. He says she can tell him if she wants, but deep down he hopes she won't get too carried away. She laughs and says he's surprisingly chill about the whole thing. Sora starts to feel like he's in control. She drops something unexpected, she says. He reminds her of her ex. Sora freezes. Is she talking about the guy from 6 years ago? Is she comparing him to who he used to be now? He's stuck wondering how many boyfriends she's had. He asks if she's saying that because of how he looks, but she tells him no, they're actually nothing alike. Her ex was boring, not very attractive, and had terrible style that hits Sora hard. He asks if the guy had any good qualities. She says, yes. He was kind. Sora scoffs and asks if kindness even matters. She smiles and says it absolutely does. Wakamizu points out that Sora always adjusts his walking pace, so she doesn't bump into other people on packed trains. He lets her stand near the wall, so she's not uncomfortable. He plans cool places for them to go, and even watches where they walk, so her feet won't get blisters. She asks if he really does all that without even noticing. Then she brings up her ex again, saying he was the opposite, always losing his cool and begging for compliments, which got on her nerves. Still, she admits it made her a little happy when he did. Then out of nowhere, she opens up about something big. She says she did something awful to her ex. One day someone snapped a photo of her going into a hotel with another guy. Her boyfriend accused her of cheating, but she explains that the guy was just a family friend and she was helping carry his bags. Her ex took the picture and she thought it was creepy, but she didn't say anything. She insists she didn't cheat, but she also admits she didn't love him anymore. After he confessed to her, She let all the attention go to her head. Everyone praised her, and were all the significant. She soaked it in. She says he did a lot for her, but she never once told him she liked him, even though deep down, she really did. Sora doesn't say a word. As he listens, Wakamizu keeps talking. She says that when he told her they should break up, she was angry at first, but later she cried so hard she couldn't stop. Sora silently lowers his head. She says, even now, sometimes the tears still come back. Then, as she turns to walk, Sora suddenly speaks up. So what? He says. She blinks, confused. He tells her to shut up and claims she knows exactly what she did. He starts to lose his temper, rubbing his head in frustration and shouting that she's the one who ruined everything. Wakamizu stares at him, completely lost. She asks if she said something wrong. He yells, if you didn't cheat, then why didn't you just say so? She looks at him, not understanding why he's so upset. Just as Wakamizu tries to step closer to Sora, a girl suddenly shows up and apologizes for making him wait. She grabs his hand and calls him senpai, catching Wakamizu completely off guard. She doesn't understand what's going on. The girl then teases Sora, asking if he's not going to say, I didn't wait long. Sora stands there, frozen and speechless. Then the girl says it. She tells Wakamizu that Sora is her boyfriend. Wakamizu is stunned. How could he be dating someone else while spending the day with her? A wave of anger and heartbreak hits her all at once, and she's seconds away from crying, watching her reaction. Sora starts to feel a crushing guilt. He feels like he's the worst person in the world. The original plan was to break her heart and make her beg for forgiveness, but now all he feels is regret. So he makes a decision. He admits everything. He confesses that he planned to cheat just to hurt. Wakamizu stares at him, confused and hurt, asking what he even means. The girl beside him also looks at him in surprise, questioning if he's really going to say all this. Sora goes on to explain that he asked his senpai, the girl standing with him, to pretend to be his girlfriend just to mess with Wakamizu. But now he says he doesn't want to go through with it. He mutters, my bad. Wakamizu is completely stunned. None of this feels real. It's like a bad dream. She can't wake up from the girl, sensing the awkward tension, says she'll leave and tells Sora to buy her a drink later. As she walks off, she casually calls him by his real name. Haruto. Wakamizu hears it, and everything suddenly makes sense. Sora, or rather Haruto, just nods and says he'll make sure it's the good stuff. Wakamizu starts sweating, overwhelmed with confusion and panic. Sora turns to her and apologizes, saying he knows he's been pathetic. She still can't fully process what's happening. It all feels too surreal. Sora keeps talking, telling her she has no idea how sorry he really is. Wakamizu stares at him, still unsure if this is really the same Sora she once knew. Then Sora says it's really over between them this time, and he begins to walk away. But just as he says goodbye, Wakamizu runs up and wraps her arms around him from behind, leaving her plushie and bag on the ground. Caught off guard, Sora mutters, idiot, and glances back at her. She holds on tightly and says she's not letting go. Then she asks if he's really Hakudo. He nods. She asks again. This time, more specifically, was he in third year class 2 at Nishama Middle School? He asks her to tell him the birthday. She answers without hesitation, the 2nd of March. Sora is shocked. She still remembers that. She goes on saying she started to wonder if it was him because they looked so much alike. At first she even thought she was being tricked, but something about him felt too real to be fake. That's when Sora's frustration boils over. He snaps that he wasn't faking anything. She takes his hand and demands an explanation. What was all that stuff about? Cheating and trying to hurt her. He tells her straight it was revenge. She stares at him and asks if he really thinks that kind of revenge wasn't just cowardly. Sora doesn't want to hear it. He pulls away and tells her to let go, reminding her coldly that they already broke up. She snaps at him to shut up. Then, louder and more serious, she repeats it, telling him to just shut up. Out of nowhere, she demands to know why he disappeared without saying a word. Sora shrugs it off, saying he simply forgot. She yells at him not to joke around and accuses him of completely cutting her out of his life. But he fires back, saying she's the one who cut him off first. Why would he want to talk to someone who betrayed him? She argues that he could have at least greeted her, but Sora didn't feel like it, especially not after what happened with the principal. Then he suddenly says, the conversation's over, the mystery is solved, so there's nothing left between them. He even throws in a cold comment saying she'll probably find a new boyfriend soon anyway, but she doesn't let go of his hand with a shaky voice. She says she can't get another boyfriend. Confused, he asks what she means. Then she shouts that he's the only boyfriend she's ever had. He stares at her, not knowing what to make of that. Then, frustrated, he calls her a coward. He says that no matter what she claims now, she stayed quiet back then, if she felt ignored. It's because she never spoke up. Sora's clearly hurting. He pulls his hand away from hers. Tears stream down her face as she begs for forgiveness through sobs. She tells him that she really does love him and that she'd never acted he'd cheat on him. She keeps asking him to forgive her, her voice full of regret. But Sora doesn't believe her. She keeps begging, and finally he says he's not angry. She apologizes again and he repeats it. He's not mad. She quietly sits down next to him on a bench. Then Sora speaks again, saying he's a terrible person, pathetic and trash. The lowest of the low. He wonders out loud if anything would have been different if he had trusted her back. Then tears keep falling down her cheeks as she asks him if he still hates her. He doesn't answer right away. Inside he knows he does. No matter how many times she says she didn't cheat, it feels just like silence to him. It was because he trusted her that the betrayal hurts so much in his mind. Nothing about her has changed. She's still the worst. This, he tells himself, will be his final payback. With tears in his own eyes, he finally says the words. He hates her. She keeps crying and quietly replies, "I see." And just like that, his first love ends. For the second time, they go their separate ways. But the next morning, something unexpected happens. Wakamizu walks up to him and cheerfully says, "Good morning." Sora is shocked. She sits down beside him like nothing happened, confused. He asks what she's doing. She calmly says that if he hates her, then she'll just make him fall for her all over again. He tells her she's being dumb and guesses her next line will be something about how he's too nice for his own good. Without missing a beat, she shoots back, "Aren't you the dumb one?" She quickly explains that she's talking about love. Sora looks at her confused, then asks straight up if she's trying to make him fall for her again. She tells him it's not like that. This time she's being serious then. Leaning close to his ear, she softly says that she likes him, but Sora refuses to be fooled again. He's not going to let himself get pulled in. She says it again. She likes him, and he snaps back that he's not listening. Other students nearby start glaring at them, clearly annoyed as she raises her voice and boldly yells out, "I like Sora."